Hi, God bless you. Um, I hope you're having a good day today. I just wanted to get on here and give a word that God gave to me. I was thinking that I wasn't going to give this word, and then God kept showing me different things that, that people can definitely benefit from this word. It's not just for me. So I wanted to talk about the story of Samson and Delilah. That is the story that God showed to me recently. And I've been sitting on this word for about a week now. And I'm like, oh, that's just a word for me, but it's really not. It actually gave me a lot to think about, like in regards of relationships and from the last video that I made about love. So, yeah, I'm going to get into the word. And I'm starting in Judges chapter 16. That's where I started reading at. That's in the middle of the story about Samson. But this is going to be the part about Samson and Delilah. So Samson, I'm just going to go over just skim over the first part of his life. He was born, it says that the Spirit of the Lord was with him when he was born. So he is definitely a man of God. And when we look at his life, we see that he was drawn to the Philistine women. So for whatever reason, he was more drawn to the Philistine women. And if you if you know the story of David, you will know that Goliath was a Philistine. So that just gives a clear picture about who the Philistines are. They're probably not children of God. I mean, the giants were not children of God. So that was the whole point of the story about David and Goliath. So Samson, he saw a Philistine woman. He wanted her. And he was a man of great strength. He battled a lion and killed it with his bare hands. And he was married to this Philistine woman. But he went through a lot. His wife was taken away from him and given to someone else. And then she was killed. So he was just there alone after that. And he went through, he had great strength. That was what God gave to him was his great strength. So he glorified God in everything that he did with that strength. But he, there's the part of the story where he kills a bunch of the Philistines with the jawbone of an ass. So that leads me up to this part that I started at in chapter 16. So after Samson's strength was displayed, he found another woman, another Philistine woman, and her name was Delilah, but she was recruited to betray him. So she caught his eye and he went with her, but she enticed him. She wasn't really with him because she wanted to be, I guess. She just wanted something from him. So he was put through many tests, 4 to be exact, because Delilah would she would ask him, tell me, where does your great strength lie? Like, how do you have such great strength? And she just kept asking him. So he would tell her something like, oh, if you tie my wrist with the these green, leaves, dried leaves, then I'll be bound, and I can't, my strength will be taken from me. So he went through that, and he passed that test. It didn't bother him. And then she came to him again and said, oh, well, you mocked me. So why don't you just don't tell me any lies. Where does your great strength come from? And he said about new ropes, to bind him with new ropes. And so he went through that test, and he broke them. He broke free from them, so it didn't bother him. And then Delilah said to Samson that, oh, you mocked me again. You told me a lie. You can't be tamed by those things. Why are you lying, And so he revealed that his source of strength he went through another test about being something about a web, but he broke free of that too. So she would nag him, and she would say that, how dare you tell me these are the things where your strength is going to be broken? You're lying to me. So she just kept pursuing him. To me, I think, why would he stay with someone like that is going to keep pursuing him to ask him what is going to break you from your strength? That's a really bad thing. And so she said unto him, how can you say that I love you when your heart is not with me? You have mocked me these 3 times and have not told me where your great strength lies. So he told her all his heart, and said unto her, there hath not come a razor upon my head, for I have been a Nazarite unto God from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak like any other man. So he did tell her, but it actually says, before what I started reading, it says, and it came to pass when she pressed him daily with her words, and urged him, so that his soul was vexed unto death. He's not married to this woman, and he's just there with her. I'm sorry, but that's witchcraft. That's why would he still be there with her? And she's pursuing him. She's constantly hounding him, saying, why aren't you doing this? Why are you lying to me? And, I would wager that that's definitely witchcraft, because it's why would he stay with someone like that? That's going to keep bothering him to the point that it says his soul was vexed unto death. That's just not good. And that's not something that you should stay with somebody when you feel like that, when you feel like they're just pressuring you all the time, and that you can't ever make them happy. But it said, when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, and saying, come up at once, for he has showed me all his heart. Then the lords of the Philistines came up unto her, and brought money in their hand. And she made him sleep upon her knees. And she called for a man, and she caused him to shave off the locks off of his head. And she began to afflict him, and his strength went from him. So, it says that he awoke out of his sleep, and that the Lord was not departed from him, or the Lord was departed from him. So basically, he was captured, he was held prisoner, and it said that they put out his eyes and brought him down to Gaza, bound him with fetters of brass, and he did grind in the prison house. So they celebrated this. They celebrated that he was captured and that his strength was taken from him. He was a great man of God, but because this woman pursued him and because he did not stand up and say, that, hey, like, get away from me, like, it just makes you wonder, like, why would a man of great strength put up with a woman like that? I guess, just because he was strong physically doesn't mean that he was strong emotionally, so, or in relationships. So I guess with losing his wife, he was vulnerable, and he just, I guess he was under, I want to say that he was under Delilah's spell, because, I mean, why on earth would a man stay with a woman like that? Like, she's just like a witch or something, Like, if you've ever, I'm going to go off on a tangent here, but if you've ever been with someone and you feel like you're there with them, but you don't know why, like, it's because usually, like, if you don't know why, it's witchcraft is involved in that. I have been with people repeatedly, like, gone back and forth, and I'll feel drawn to them, but then when I'm there, it's kind of like, why am I here? Like, I feel bad inside, like something's not right. That's definitely, it was revealed to me that it was witchcraft that was done on me. So that's definitely what I take away from this story. And unfortunately for Samson, that was the end of him. So as much as he did for the Lord, as many people as he killed for the Lord, his great strength was used to glorify God. But I just see it that, his strength was found in his hair. So it's kind of like he said, oh, well, that's where my strength lies. But his strength came from the Lord, as far as I'm concerned. But, I was reading that, and it made me sad, because it's kind of like he could have done a lot more for God if he hadn't have been caught in the snare of Delilah that she weaved for him. Like, she weaved a web of lies and deceit for him, and he didn't deserve that. So he was captured, his strength was taken away from him, and he was tormented, and all of these things he had to suffer because he was not strong enough, like, inside, to go away from this woman who wanted to take away his strength. His strength came from the Lord, and he, for whatever reason, he was captured by her, but she was not on his side. She wasn't. So there is definitely another verse in the Bible that says, do not be unequally yoked, as in when you get married, do not be unequally yoked with your partner. If you are a Christian man or woman, you should not be married to someone who is not Christian. It's very much warned against in the Bible. And like, that's just what I got from this story, is kind of like, even though he wasn't even married to her, he was, taken by her, like, whatever spell that she put on him. And it was the end of him. He didn't have the strength to get out of that. He just gave in to her and let her, like, take him over until it was the end for him. Like, he did not have that strength, that inner strength, unfortunately, to get up out of that relationship. So we can see from that story alone that that's not a good thing, to be unequally yoked with your partner. I can speak from experience and say that I was unequally yoked with many partners before I was married. Most of the people that I dated were not Christian. They knew of God, but they didn't follow him. So, yeah, I could see that. Well, that part of my life, I was not following God. So I was not, I was not in the right. I was looking for a relationship, but I was not looking for it in the right place. I didn't have my boundaries outlined. I didn't have my values set. I was just going with the flow. I was going with my flesh. Go over here dancing, go see this person, go, like, go drink, go with this person or this person, and just let the current take you. Like, we all have those times in our lives where we just follow our feelings, and our feelings just don't last. And neither did any of my relationships because of that. I went with my feelings, and those feelings went away, and they were gone. And, I'll be honest, now that I've been married for, in December, it will be 10 years that I've been married, and it's not been a party. And I think that it is very much like, we are set up, like, I feel like from a young age, to romanticize love. And of course it's fueled by entertainment, movies, music, just to say that, oh, you have to fall in love and this and that. Okay, well, you can do that. But what you have to understand is that love is not going to be romantic till the end of your life, because life happens. So, when you are married, you will be tested, you will be tried. This is for men and women. I can guarantee you the men, when they get married, will have women come at them, directly or indirectly, just to walk by or to flirt or anything like that. And they will be tested and tried, like, well, I have a girl now at home, that's my wife, so I can't be, talking to the flirting with the other ladies and stuff. So, and for me as a woman, I can tell you that I have been tested and tried, and it's not easy. I mean, don't ever get married thinking that it's going to be a fairy tale or that romance is going to be there all the time. There are going to be times that you want to smack the other person in the back of their head because they're acting like a dingling. Like, that's just human. We're not going to act the way that we should all the time. Of course, we all have things, everybody probably needs to go to therapy at one point in time in life to deal with the stuff that's going on inside of them, and to deal with, different things that have gone on in life. And I just to be real, like, it was funny, like, I told my husband, I was like, oh, remember how we used to be romantic or whatever when we first got married? I was like, where did that go? And he's like, oh, well, I'm not romantic. But, I got, like, kind of feeling sorry for myself. And I'm like, well, he doesn't want to hold my hand, or he doesn't want to take me here or there. And, like, we have kids, we have stuff going on, and just for me to tell him that and him to tell me that he's not romantic, is kind of like I started feeling sorry for myself, right? Well, we can get in a spiral in our feelings and our emotions and thinking about, oh, well, my partner's not paying attention to me enough, or this or that. But life happens, you have to work hard at it. You have to work hard at a marriage. It's not fun and games all the time. It's really not. And sometimes somebody's gonna sleep on the couch and somebody's gonna be in the bed, like, it's real. It's real stuff. And but you gotta keep going. You gotta to roll with the punches. And even when it hurts, you know, even when you feel like you don't know the person, you know, it's just life. And it hit me hard, you know. And I even got to the point today where I was on a jog today, and I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about what I was going to say today for this word, and about how I was like, well, my husband doesn't want to be romantic with me. And God told me, he was like, hold your own hand. If you want somebody to hold your hand, you hold your own hand. So I did that while I was running. When I heard that, when he gave that to me, I was like, you know what? I will hold my own hand, because I need that. I need to feel that. So I did. And it made me smile that he explained that to me, because we're going to feel alone in life, you know, like we don't have to feel alone, but we are. I mean, it's just a part of being human sometimes. And we have to hold our own hand sometimes, and take care of the inner child that needs to be loved, that needs to have their hand held, that needs to be, you know, just to feel that love. So it's kind of like, you know, you're going to feel alone in life. It doesn't matter if you get married or not. It's just going to happen sometimes. And it's not going to be forever, you know, that you're going to feel that way. That's also a feeling. You know, I feel that I want romance. I feel that, yes, it is a need for a woman, I believe. For men, no, I don't think that romance is a need. Sex is a need for men, and romance is a need for women. That's what I've come to find out. And those are not, they're not equal for men and women, you know, but these are things we have to kind of work out in life. So, yeah, I'm not going to make this video too long. I just had a few things to say. If you feel alone, you can hold your own hand. Like for me, that felt comforting to me. I was like, yes, I'm here for myself. I want to love myself, and I need to hold my own hand before I rely on somebody else to do it for me. And that was a beautiful thing that God showed me today, and I wanted to share it with you. And I hope that you can appreciate that word too. So, yeah. And I wanted to go ahead and say that I want to pray for you. And if you would like to leave a comment, you can. If you prefer it to be more like anonymous, or, you know, like not public or whatever, more private, then you can email me. I'm going to put my email down below. I would love to pray for you. And I will go ahead and ask if you will pray for me specifically for my eye. I do have an appointment to see the doctor tomorrow about it. And I've never had any problems with my eyes before. And all of a sudden I have something going on. So if you can pray for me that everything would go well with that appointment. Yes. And I would love to hear from you. I would love to pray for you. And yeah, I hope you have a beautiful day. And God bless you. I love you. And I'll talk to you later.